everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Nahid and in this video I'm gonna talk to you about Scrum. Let's get familiar with its basic concepts, check its requirement in projects and learn different and important parts. Before starting, it's not bad to go one level higher and take a look at the main methodology. This methodology is known as Agile. Agile Methodology is a project management method that breaks down into several dynamic phases named sprints that I will talk about it later. You commonly find Agile project management used in software development or other types of application development. This is because software is constantly changing and the needs of application have to change with it. Because of this, linear project management methods like the waterfall model are less effective. One of the main benefits of using Agile in the software development is the ability to shift strategies quickly without disrupting a flow of a project. Generally, there are different methodologies like Agile, Waterfall, and so on. It's no secret that Agile and Waterfall are two of the most popular methodologies used by engineering teams. What may not be as clear is which methodology is right for your team and project. So in this video, I've decided to choose Agile methodology and Scrum framework inside it. Leading an Agile transition may be one of the most difficult but necessary tasks you take on to help your organization thrive in today's environment. As I mentioned before, Agile methodology is a project management approach that involves breaking the project into phases and emphasize continuous collaboration and improvement. Now you may be wondering what this means and how exactly I can use this methodology to manage my team and project. To answer this question and perhaps dozens of other questions, let's take a deep dive into the more explanations and details by choosing Scrum framework from Agile methodology. While the Scrum is most frequently used by software development teams, its principles and lessons can be applied to all kinds of teamwork. This is one of the reasons why Scrum is so popular. Often thought of as an agile project management framework, Scrum describes a set of meetings, tools, and roles that work in concert to help teams structure and manage their work. Okay, now that we have an official definition for Scrum, let's jump into different concepts and individual pieces. When a team decides to use Scrum to manage its projects, it should know that it needs to structure or set different meetings and events. But what are Scrum events? The Scrum framework has 5 different events. The first one is a sprint. What is a sprint? The sprint is the main role of promoting a cadence, typically 1 to 4 weeks, depending on team's preference. You shouldn't have a sprint for preparing the work, another one for building it, and another one for testing it. Fixed and detailed description and execution of work items are a best fit. In a Scrum, on every sprint, the team is preparing, building, and testing work items. A Scrum is a continuous cycle, a sprint after another one. and every sprint should deliver a product increment. In each sprint, the team has a commitment to an increment to be developed in that sprint, thus seeking a balance between autonomy, flexibility, and team commitment to start and finish it within that sprint. That's why the sprint planning meeting is described in terms of desired outcome. But what is a sprint planning? It's the second event of the Scrum framework. Sprint planning is an event in Scrum. The purpose of sprint planning is to define what can be delivered in the sprint and how that work must be achieved. Sprint planning is done in collaboration with the whole Scrum team. This meeting has two goals. After a successful sprint planning, the product owner or PO that I will introduce soon and the development team agree on the sprint goal. And they have formed the sprint backlog. But what is a sprint backlog? Sprint backlog contains all the items that must be implemented in the sprint to achieve the sprint goal. As the third event in a Scrum, I should mention daily stand-up. Daily stand-up is a short daily meeting to discuss progress and identify blockers. The reason it's called a stand-up is because if attendees participate while standing, the meeting should be kept short. For software teams, the daily stand-up is like a sport team's huddle. Although the meeting's flavor is unique to each team, but most of the time we use 3 different questions to generate the structure. What did I work on yesterday? What am I working on today? And what issues are blocking me? These questions highlight progress and help flag team blockers. Also, it strengthens the team when everyone shares the progress they are contributing to the team. And as the last point here, I should mention that the daily reinforcement of sharing individual successes and plans keeps the team excited about the team's overall contribution to the organization. As the next event in Scrum, I want to talk about sprint review. A sprint review meeting is carried out once the sprint has been done. At the end of the sprint, a sprint review meeting allows us to review sprint goal and sprint backlog. It also helps to inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog if necessary. When the sprint review meeting is taking place, the Scrum team and stakeholders evaluated what has been done during the sprint. It also serves for sharing information. It's held to get some feedback as well as ensure that there is contribution. As the last event in Scrum, I want to talk about sprint retrospective. A sprint retrospective is a type of meeting when teams reflect on what went well and what could be improved for their next sprint. The sprint retrospective meetings are essential to continuously improve your sprint process and ensure key learnings are incorporated for the next time. Okay, now that we have a general overview about different events in Scrum, it's time to talk about different roles in Scrum or being familiar with different members in Scrum team who are accountable for turning the selection of the work into an increment of value during the sprint. Yes, they are Scrum Master, PO or Product Owner, and Development Team. That we will know more about them. As a first role in a Scrum, I want to talk about Scrum Master. But who is a Scrum Master? As a brief definition of a Scrum Master, I should say a Scrum Master facilitates the Scrum process and helps team continuously improve. Also, a few tasks and responsibilities of a Scrum Master are supporting teams in their tasks, coaching the team on Scrum principles and best practices, leading different meetings like daily stand-up, sprint review, and so on, and also updating activities in a project management tracking tools, and also a lot of other tasks. The second role in Scrum is product owner or PO. He or she represents stakeholders and ensures the team deliver value. Some of the most important tasks and responsibilities of the product owner are prioritizing and managing the team backlog, connecting with the customer, contributing to the roadmap, and also supporting the team in their tasks. And the third role in the Scrum is development team. Development team is a self-organizing group of professionals responsible for delivering the product increment. Some of the most important tasks and responsibilities of this team include performing a sprint execution, adapting the plan for the current day's work and inspecting the process towards the sprint goal, arranging product backlog, estimating and refining it, and also planning the sprint and establishing the goal for the next sprint. Okay, as the last important question here, we can ask for which situations and types of projects is Scrum recommended. Scrum was initially formalized for software development projects, but it has been applied for any scope of complex projects and innovative work. So, as a result, its use is very suitable in projects with rapidly changing or highly emergent requirements. As the last part here, I'm gonna recommend you some popular and professional tools to add a Scrum to your project and your team. The first one is Jira. It's one of the most popular and powerful tools that you can add to your project. The second one is Monday.com. It has a high ranking between other tools. The third one is Seri Project. This tool is also one of the most popular tools that you can add to your project for having a Scrum in your team. And the last one is Awork. You can compare these tools and based on your team and your project, decide to select which of them. Okay, by following these principles and concepts of the Scrum and in accordance with the Scrum big picture that you could get in this video, you can contribute to a more collaborative and iterative approach to product development. If you like to know more about it, I will add the documentation for Scrum in the description of this video and you can check it more. So jump into it and enjoy it. Until the next video, goodbye.